What's up, guys? Got my very first Dreadphage Ohmna kill for you today. I'm not gonna lie, I was most definitely getting carried in this fight. I was running with the Enigma guys, and I can't even bullshit and say that I put a lot of hard work and effort into progression on this. This is the very first night I'd ever done the fight, and we killed it in the same night. So, no, I definitely did not put lots of hard work and effort into learning the fight. I feel a little guilty about that. I kind of just showed up and killed it and got carried. 100% I got carried, so especially with my role. So in this particular fight, I am doing the off-tank role. There are two other off-tanks. There's Freya, Zodiac, I don't remember his name, I'm sorry, dude, and some engineer, I'm sorry, I think it's Zodiac something, and myself. So the only time you need more than one tank is the third phase, and 3 ads come out, and that's when I actually have to do my job. So for the most part, I'm kind of just circle strafing the boss and keeping Jolt up on it. I'm running tier 4, I'm actually running tier 8 Jolt in this for the technology debuff, because we were trying to squeeze as much DPS out as we could, because we were trying to kill, not only kill the boss, but kill it in under 10 minutes and not have any of the generators die. And we managed to do that, but we didn't get credit for either of them. So everybody was pretty salty at the end of the night, just because we wiped on Ohmna on purpose like 5 times when we could have just easily killed her just to get the time limit for the Elden Gauntlet imbuement. So the fact that we didn't get credit for that was pretty shitty. So first phase, pretty boring, especially if you're not assigned to a generator. The generator mechanic, which you guys aren't even seeing right now, there are 4 generators placed around the room. Squids will be placed at those generators that DPS groups need to kill, and if they don't get killed, it'll start doing, I believe it does raid-wide damage when a generator dies. There's a challenge for this boss where you can't have any of the generators die, so we did that. Again, we didn't get credit for it, so it's pretty shitty, but there are groups scattered that DPS the generators as they come up, and there's not really I wouldn't say it's a pattern, but there is definitely a way of how they spawn. I think it goes from highest to lowest. I'm not sure on that. I'm not sure on the technicalities. Again, I just showed up and killed the boss. I got carried. I'm not even gonna bullshit, but there's definitely a generator mechanic. I'm sure another video will explain it better than mine. I had a cushy job this fight, not gonna lie. So, next phase, ads will spawn all the way around her, and you'll need to split off into separate groups, northwest, southwest, northeast, southeast, I think that's it, and kill the ads that come out. If the ads get to her, they will heal her, and I think it's a wipe at that point, because you won't be able to live with the generators. At least in this gear level, I think if she has any ad get to her, it's a wipe, because your generators will start to die. So now on to the next phase. This phase is pretty much more of the same. Be sure to re-up your life drain, because it's almost expired at that point. That's kind of a nice little break. There's 2 little breaks in the action where you can re-up your life drain, and those are pretty convenient. I don't think they were there by design, but whatever. Works pretty well. You see what Frey's doing right there? He's taking the body slam off the platform, and he's just doing it in a way to where only one platform gets sacrificed, which is pretty nice. And here's the spew. Again, run away from that. The only thing different about this phase from the first is I think in the first phase the ads don't come out. You'll see little worms come out in a second that need to be interrupted. I think those don't come out in the first phase. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do. Fuck, I'm a little shaky on this fight, especially since I wasn't interrupting an ad. I don't have an interrupt on my bar. Could have had one, but I wanted to keep Bum Rush on just for a little bit of an insurance policy, just in case I fucked up and got knocked back. It's kind of nice. Yeah. Hopefully Freya won't get mad that I was using a movement ability instead of an interrupt. I think we were fine on interrupts. But those are the ads that need to be interrupted. You gotta interrupt those ads. They start spewing. You'll see them come out here in a second. You'll get a better idea of what I'm talking about. But the worms come out around the perimeter of the circle, and they'll start spewing. And if you're standing in that spew, you're gonna get fucked up. And if that spew happens while her big spew is coming out, to where you have to run around the circumference and eat the spew at the same time, it's bad news bears. So those ads die super quick. People are pretty good about killing them at this point. And yeah, this phase, pretty much more of the same. Just burn the boss, burn the boss, burn the boss, body slam, and you see how he jumps up on the platform there for a second and then repositions. So that's a pretty smart way of doing it. I'm not sure if it's intended for you to be able to eat as much goo as he's eating, like he's getting the stacks while he's standing in the goo just to have more platforms. Not sure if that's intended. Maybe it's intended. I just feel like with all these platforms, they would want you to be smashing more of them down. But maybe not. I have no idea. It's definitely a smart way that he's doing it, though. So, next phase, it's another ad phase. Just more of the same. I actually fuck up and go to the wrong side there for a second. It's not huge big deal. But I'm actually kind of pissed off at myself because I think I played pretty well for most of the polls. But of course, the poll that we kill it, I play like ass, and that's the one I have to post to YouTube. So I promise I'm not this bad all the time. I was just this bad for this poll. So yeah, man, I made some dumb mistakes. So yeah, anyway, kill these ads, and after this is where things get crazy and where I actually have to start doing stuff that is challenging. So re-up your life drain, and this is where most people where things start to fall apart, because this is where it gets a little crazy. So you can see right now, I am starting to move very weirdly. You see that I'm really choppy with my movements, and that's because I'm looking at my mini-map. One of my weaknesses as a player, personally, is I'm not very good at orienting myself with a direction, like northeast, southeast. I'm not one of those people that instantly knows where southeast is. I have to like look at my mini-map and adjust, and I'm just kind of slow at that. So you see I'm moving sort of in a weird way, and that's because I'm trying to orient myself with the place that I'm getting ready to go once we get the boss to, I believe, 13%. So I actually, yeah, you see like I'm not even like facing the boss. I'm sort of facing where I need to go. Luckily this boss is a pretty big hitbox, and I make a mistake here in a second. As I'm trying to orient myself directly with where I need to go, I think I step into the pool for a second, and I get 2 stacks, which is pretty dumb. Like, that was just really dumb. Just me taking extra dot damage for, like, no reason. This is terrible. I don't know why I did that. I guess I was just really paranoid about going to the wrong worm. So, got myself oriented with the southeast worm. Don't want to stand in that shit. Run in, instantly taunt that shit, and this is where things get hard, because I have to keep aggro off the two of the top. Actually, literally, Karth is the #1 DPS in the world for Wildstar, and I have to keep aggro off of him as a fucking warrior. So I was shitting my pants at this point, and I think I do pretty okay, especially since I'm not running a threat build with Rampage. I was running Jolt for the raid debuff, so Shun actually pulls aggro for like a second there. I could have taunted and maybe not had that happen. So what actually happened right there is, since he pulled aggro there for like a split second, he got devoured, and it wasn't really a big deal, to be honest, like at all. But it's ideal if I get devoured so he can interrupt me. I don't know if you take, I don't think you take damage from that, but he pulled aggro there for a second, and wasn't a big deal. But again, that shouldn't be an issue next patch. Warrior threat's getting a pretty massive buff. So again, ads come out. Gotta tank the ads, and I fuck up here. I fuck up here. If I would have backed up just a little bit, I wouldn't got hit by that knockback. And I think the fact that I moved right there might have made other people get hit by it. I don't know if that's certain, but here's the devour mechanic. So when that happens, the DPS need to interrupt. That's what happened to Shun earlier. I don't think I took any damage from that, so I don't think it was a big deal. But yeah, starting to get hit pretty hard. Pop my innate right there just to help me live through the phase. And after this worm dies, I believe we go into the 3rd phase, and I take that body slam off of the platform so the DPS can DPS without getting hit by the goo dot down there. So that's what you want to do. So you see that knockback right there? You want to just back up slightly, and you won't get hit by it at all, and you got to keep still so the DPS don't get hit by it, because it follows the tank. So yeah, I messed up right there. Now on to the 3rd phase, where shit gets crazy. Oh wait, not quite. One more worm phase. I'm retarded. So worm again, boom, get aggro on it, take the body slam away, and shit your pants a little bit because Shun and Karth and everyone else is catching up to me. Now on to the 3rd phase. Re-up your life drain, dodge off this, and start to shit your pants. So she gets fucking huge, and we move right for the first body slam. Or I think that's a spew. We move right for the first spew. And we're killing you see those little red circles that are coming out of the ground? You can kill those before they come out. So you notice how we're just kind of all standing in that telegraph and DPSing? We're actually DPSing the ad before it comes out. And yeah, you got to do that while you're DPSing the boss. And I fuck up here. So there's the body slam. I was supposed to go left. I went right, like a retard. Again, it didn't matter, but I should have went right. I think it could have fucked us if it spawned an ad on me. Maybe it would have fucked us. I don't know. I should have went. Again, I fucked up. Of course, the one pull where we kill it, I do the dumbest shit. So, anyway, there's Ohmna. I got carried. Not even gonna lie. I 100% got carried by Enigma. But this is my first time doing it. I don't think I did terrible. This fight will be much easier next patch when the warrior threat gets buffed and we get more snap threat for that ad. So, yeah. We were hella pissed, though. We were fucking pissed because we Could have killed Ohmna much faster than we did, but we were intentionally wiping it to get it under 10 minutes, and we did not get it, even though we killed it in like 9 minutes and 40 seconds or something. So yeah, anyway, be sure to check out the live version on Twitch. I'll link that down below so you can hear it as we were going through the strategy and shit like that. It's interesting. So yeah, see you guys next time, and I hope you enjoy the video. There's 2 bomb groups. We have one bomb group that gets all the stuff to the right, and one bomb group that gets all the stuff to the left. We have one guy calling the bombs per group. So the guy that's calling the bombs in my group is the octopus, Zelius. He calls the bombs, and for the most part, it's pretty obvious. Like that one, that's an obvious call.